How's it going, everyone? Ryan Melnick back here with another video. In this video, we're going to be discussing something very near and dear to my heart, that is how to avoid holds and limitations on PayPal so that you can continue to run your business.
My name's Johnny. My name's Johnny.
Okay, so before we jump right in, I want to remind you guys to click that subscribe button if you haven't yet, turn the notification bell on, comment below if you get any value from this video, or if you have a question or a topic you want me to discuss in a future video. So now we got that out of the way, let's jump right into the substance right here. I'm going to start off with my story of why I've had this experience with PayPal, what happened, and then I'm going to jump into the 3 things I believe you can do to further limit yourself from the possibility of having these limitations and holds with PayPal. So let's jump right in with my story and what happened. So my first Shopify store, obviously when you have your first Shopify store, this was back in early 2017, end of 2016. My first Shopify store, I started doing pretty well in around, I would say, early to mid 2017. I started doing some real volume, and all of a sudden I found what I would call a gold winner, something where I can make anywhere from $5,000 and up a day in revenue. And so I got up to $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, $30,000, $40,000. When you get up in that sort of revenue on a daily basis, when you're bringing in $20,000 to $40,000 of revenue, and about 70% of my business is going through PayPal, so we'll say $25,000 to $32,000, $33,000 per day in transactions on PayPal, it's obviously going to be a red flag for them when 2 months ago you were doing just $1,000 or $2,000 a day. And so that is a very good possibility with this business model that could happen to you. And that's when you run into some issues, definitely, because that volume is automatically a red flag. But I'll kind of share with you what happened with me. So obviously I was keeping up with tracking numbers, but not to the point where I was keeping up with every single tracking number that ever went through. It would be very difficult to do with $30,000, $40,000 a day in transactions. I would probably have to have 3 different people. I'd have to have a whole team putting in tracking numbers into PayPal. What I was doing is what most people do, and it's actually not correct. Okay, and what that is going into the PayPal Resolution Center and seeing the cases and disputes we have there, and then entering in tracking numbers and solving the cases as they come. PayPal doesn't tell you this, but they actually don't like that. They don't like it. Now, obviously that's the minimalistic thing you want to do. That's the only thing I was doing. That's what most people do. Even high-level people in e-commerce, they're doing a few $1,000s a day. They still do that and they get away fine with it. But if you ever start to do massive volume, you're going to run into issues with PayPal without them even telling you, because like I've said in previous videos, they don't necessarily care about your business that much to where they have to keep your business. They don't need you, you need them. And so what I'm getting at here is, I was essentially entering in tracking numbers whenever I had a claim or a dispute or an issue with my store. Okay, and that's all good and dandy, but when you start doing real volume like I was doing, PayPal throws up that red flag and they're saying, well, here is 1,000 transactions without tracking numbers. Even if they were delivered or on the way, you ship them out the next day. It doesn't necessarily matter because they're not going to trust that. And so you have to then turn around and upload all of your tracking numbers. And so what I've done is put together a list of 3 things about how you guys can avoid this specific situation and getting these experiences. I've heard a lot of different PayPal horror stories. This is just sort of mine, and so that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. There's 3 things that you can do in order to not go through what I've been through. So at the end, just to resolve the story here, I went into having 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. Got to the point where they had essentially all my cash flow in my business. They had over 6 figures. And they said, we're going to put you on a 180-day hold. They ended up holding it for 223 days from the last transaction. So it ended up being almost an entire year, right? Where they held over 100 grand from me. So it was pretty interesting, pretty awful time for me to learn in my business. It's something you end up learning, turn around and going, okay, this is how I can do it better next time, right? So that's what I'm going to share with you guys right now. So you don't want to go through that. So what you can do to not be able to have those issues. It's not fun, okay? We got 3 specific things that I'm gonna share with you that you can do. Number 1, we already discussed a little bit. That's entering in all of your PayPal tracking numbers. Now, not just your problems, not just your claims, your disputes, all transactions that go through PayPal, you need to enter into PayPal. All tracking numbers for all PayPal transactions. And so what you can do for that is you can actually utilize an app in your Shopify store. PayPal, it's called PayPal Automation. It's a PayPal automation software. I'm gonna put the link below, guys. If you click on that, obviously it's an affiliate link, so if you click on it, I'll get a little something for it, but I'm giving you my advice on what you can do to avoid the holds and limitations. But if you don't wanna do that, you can go on Shopify and just look up PayPal tracking. I believe it would be a good way to put it. It's like 5 or 6 words is the name of the app, but I'm gonna put the link below so you can click on that and absolutely get that. First 50 orders of tracking in PayPal are free. After that, you end up having to pay on a per order basis, I believe it is. So definitely get that tool. That's number one. Okay. Number two, clear communication. You want to have clear communication with PayPal at all times. Guys, I was on the phone with PayPal probably 5 times a week because of my issues, but you need to be on the phone with them probably or emailing them twice a week, I would say. And if you don't want to do it, then have someone on your team do it. And that's just for clarity, for issues, for disputes, to keep the line very, very clear, okay? Because the more clear it is, the better off you're going to be, the less holds and limitations you will potentially have. Number 3. Now, after having these big holds and having these limitations, actually having to go to LinkedIn and finding, legal counsel and high up executives to actually have them solve my issue and get my money back, I have learned a lot, okay? And number 3 is really not as much of a tip to help you avoid these. It's more so just kind of a fact in that they do not need your business, okay? You need them, because worldwide, when you start running Facebook advertising, Instagram, any type of ads worldwide, outside of the United States and potentially, I would say Canada, you're gonna need PayPal, because most people worldwide are gonna have PayPal, but they may not have a United States credit card. You need them more than they need you. They will cut you off. You will cut them off if you're dumb. But besides that, you will not cut them off because you need them in your store. So keep that in mind. It's just number 3 is really something more to keep in mind, that you need them and they don't necessarily need you. So those are some things that I would keep in mind to avoid having holds and limitations on your PayPal account in order to keep your business running and operating. So that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please click a like, down below. Give me a little thumbs up. Put a comment below if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you want to see in other videos, okay? So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next video.
My name's Johnny. My name's Johnny.